Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dragon's Den. I'm Bearded Dragon. We're gonna play some more Tower Borne. Super fun game, absolutely love it. So we're gonna kind of stick to just getting through the story a little bit more. Try to get my Shadow Striker geared up to be able to take on the next couple levels and figure out where we can go from there. So yeah, we're gonna jump right into it, get straight into the action. I think we've gotten enough stuff to the point where we can kind of level some of this stuff up now. The dust. Because I stopped needing blue dust and I started needing purple dust, so yeah, okay, so I can level that up. Level up the mask. And level up the shoulder pauldrons. Alrighty. And I do have some upgraded stuff for like my pants and stuff, but I don't want to get rid of this bonus yet. I want to wait till I at least have some gear that has a you know, either better gear bonus or just something that's gonna be a little bit more helpful than just taking no bonus. What do I want to run on my daggers? I think I'm gonna do the Crowbow Slayer daggers. I do love these. They're pretty cool. They're freaking huge looking. I think I'm going to do the Crowbow daggers. Alrighty. Let's see here. Okay, so we got boss fights now. Yeah, so I did the Gobo and Pale Tail, the Gobo Brute. Now I have Flicker Tail, which will unlock the light rolling attack. Fighting the Rat Slasher Bloodletter. Hey Pixel Princess. I appreciate the follow. Thank you. That will unlock the heavy rolling attack, and then this will unlock Rising Strike, which I think is the attack from when you're knocked on your knocked on the ground. But I don't know. Oh, okay, these are only 242. I should be plenty. I'm doing pretty good. How are you? I usually stream pretty daily, yeah. There's certain days that I don't stream, like I don't stream Thursdays, and sometimes I'll stream on Sundays, but most of the time I stream pretty daily. I'm streaming quite a few different games right now, so I try to get on at least once a day to stream. I mean, I own my own business, so I work for... I work. I don't have hobbies besides gaming. The only reason I even have time to game the last couple days is because I haven't been working, so... Because most of the time, usually I'm not streaming till later. Yeah, sure. You do crochet? Nice. My wife's a crocheter. Sugar for heaven. I have a Discord if you want to send something to me. I've had a lot of people reach out and ask me to see their drawings because they want to do stuff for me, but I have a lot of people talking to me about trying to get me to do their drawings or have them do my profile picture and all that kind of stuff, so. I have no problem seeing your drawings, though. This guy looks like he's gonna be tough. Dude, the shockwaves hurt so much. Gotcha, punk. See what we can do about this. I don't know why I keep doing that. Already playing some bullshit. Dude. Dude, can you stop with the fucking ramming me? These motherfuckers, man. I can't even attack! I literally can't even attack. Every time I get a second to move, they attack me again. Yep, knew that was coming. That is rude. That was ridiculous, dude. Like, I couldn't even get an attack in edgewise because every time I'd do something, they'd freaking charge at me and knock me on my ass. So not doing that one anytime soon. I'm up in the 400s now for the score, so we should be able, oh, close to 400 anyway. Should be able to do the Lyco Strand. How you doing, Valkyr? Appreciate you hopping in. Yeah, I mean, I've told her multiple times she needs to, like, make a Twitch channel and just show her crocheting, show her gardening, all that kind of stuff. All right, a boss right off the bat. Fantastic. Get out of here with your shit. Tried to mess with my delivery? Yeah. How about some fireworks? Sure. I mean, I don't mind fireworks. Especially when they damage your own guys. Oh, yeah, that's a trap. Hi, Krista. That was a little annoying. They set traps all over the place. Jesus Christ. Since when do you guys shoot twice in a row? Oh shit. What, you think you're some kind of gladiator or something? You gotta fight in an arena? Funky asses. Delivery intercepted. Damn, I've already broken 1,000 breakable items. Pathfinder's belt, huh? Ooh, almost. Almost leveled up. Yeah, for real, like people get really into the crafting thing. So, I mean, she's already got her Katie's Craft Corner. So, you know, set the camera up outside, film yourself while you're outside gardening and stuff. People love that shit. We can even get her a pair of those, the glasses that you can record with. And she can literally just sit there with the glasses on while it records her knitting and crocheting and stuff. How could you help craft? How could you hurt your own people? Finn, huh? Hey, stop that. Didn't even give me a chance to attack, dude. That was some bull crap. Like, literally, before I can even enter out of the cutscene, they were hitting me. Thanks for the hand, kid. They played right into my hands. Wait, you got captured on purpose? Did you really think I'd get caught so easily? What the shit do you take me for? Anyway, seems Stiletto is leading the operation, but who's doling out the dough? Still not sure. So she did switch sides, but why? Nobody seems to know for sure. Who are you? Oh, that's Stiletto? Okay. Then I had a feeling your capture wasn't as serendipitous as it seemed. Still got some tricks. Now how'd you fall so far, you traitor? Traitor? We were abandoned, all of us. Kraft and Wolfram quietly teleported away with their dear Umbra friends and left the rest of us to deal with their mess. It's not so simple, Stiletto. Who's this, the new little ace? You got a lot to learn, sweetie. Give Kraft a message for me, won't you? Will you fix this, the true guard of numbers? We will fix this, the true guard of numbers. We were there when the city fell, and now we're the ones trying to set things right. And when we do, he will regret his actions on the day of the dusking. Let me guess, she's gonna have some kind of, like, hair attack. Because she's got a big old freaking kunai or something on the tip of her ponytail. I love when enemies literally cannot be staggered. Holy shit, dude! Like, I literally can't move! I freaking hate these guys with the crowns over their head. You cannot stagger them at all. Even with attacks. I wasn't even freaking near you, my dude. Jesus. She's got a funny way of fixing things, stealing from refugees, rounding them up. Did you notice what she said? Something about Wolfram and Kraft creating this mess? Yeah, what was that about? I think there's more at play here than we know, kid. Doesn't mean that she's doing it. What she's doing is right. That not at all hurting her own people, but sure makes you wonder what pissed her off enough to think that. I'll take her little message to Kraft. Meanwhile, you try to stay on her trail. Sure. That was ridiculous, dude. Those freaking bad guys were just beating me around like a ragdoll. I hate this guy. The thing that made those giant footprints should be around here somewhere. These things make some nasty noises when they die, man. Sheesh. Alright, big boy. Let's go. Try and intimidate me, but I will not. Can fucking heal? Thank you. Only hit the button like 3 freaking times. You'll harm no others today. Sing! Level 30. Wildling's mantle grants might to self and nearby allies and inflicts vulnerability on nearby enemies after 7 combo finishers. That's a little steep. Okay, there's the Trambler's belt, which I have the helmet, I think, equipped. Pathfinder's Legacy. Gain 10% crit chance and 30% crit damage when HP is 90% or higher. Alright. That might be worth putting on. Now I have the Trambler's shoulder pads. And another Stout Swine's boots. Ranger's boots inflict bleed on nearby enemies after 5 attacks. That's the other one that I really like. Okay, so that one inflicts poison on critical hits. Yes. Automatically gain weapon meter while stealth. Okay, so there's the light rolling attack. Attacks after a dodge roll. Yeah, there's the rising strike. I really like that one. Hit X or Y when you're down on the ground and it freaking comes up and hits everything around you. It's increasing the weapon meter again. Gain stealth when critical hit with Shadow Feint. Like the weapon meter while in stealth. Yeah, because that one gives me stealth when I defeat an enemy with a focus skill. So use focus, increase my weapon meter gain, use more focus, so I can continuously stay in the... Umber Shrine. Oh, this is Sten. No. Yeah, no, not Sten. Iris. Bro. A lot of your adventurous curiosity. I have some I have more research to do with smiting. I dare say something. I don't know. It goes too fast. Be more than shiny enough. Probably never would have agreed if I told him what it's for. Anyways, hello, what brings you here? Am I using the mist deck for it, you ask? Well, the Crowbows may or may not really like shiny things. And I may or may not be trying to lure them out with these. Just don't tell that pylon guy, though he would not be happy. You want to come with? Be my guest. Just don't ruffle too many feathers. Guess we need to go further. Look at all this treasure. These locks been busy. Be a shame for all their hard work to go to waste. Maybe there's some shinies in there for us to see. Hey, good timing, Ace. Something about this place has the Umbra buzzing, Nightshade's restless. So it's just as we heard? An anomaly? Do you feel it? The air, it's different here. Feels like the ebb it's here and it isn't. That must be what Wick meant. The veil is thinning. Oh my lord. What the is that? Nightshade can't sit still. That metal hull, it's glowing with energy. The anomaly here can't be a coincidence. Gotta admit, it's kind of fun to see Nightshade like this. If that's what it can do to Nightshade, what can it do to Umbra like Mirror? Or Graves? Sheesh. Maybe we can bust it up. Hold on, don't touch it. Not with all that energy emanating from it. You know what it might do to us? Fine, for now, let's investigate further into the mountains. Complete 50 missions. $31. There's so many cute little Umbra here. The anomaly, it's happening here too. Definitely, I noticed these little ones are just as jittery as Nightshade. Let's use it to our advantage and teach these gnarly beastkin a lesson. If there's anything you don't try to solve with your daggers, not much. Is there anything that you don't solve with your daggers? Courage, you're here too? Ah, Aces, I was just visiting some friends. Do you know why the Umbra are amped up? You'd have a hard time sitting still if you were supercharged with Mirrors. What? Not what, but how. Stop with the riddles. What's going on? How to keep this short. Okay, so the Ebb is the Umbra home. And your home for your humans, beastkin, and the whole lot of you is called the shore. They exist in the same place at the same time. Easy, no? But the veil between the two has weakened throughout the mountains here and into the back hills. And so things are all frunky, murksy. I think you mean murky. No, I definitely mean murksy. Murksy. Why is it freaking the Umbra out so much? How could anyone sit still when they feel like a humming frequency bursting through them? Yahahoa. Hold it together, Courage. I gotta move, Aces. This place is packing a little too much juice for me, my liking. All the Umbra scattered? Something's wrong, Ace. You follow Papyrus that way. I'll head after McCracken and Picus. Can you believe this? A gobbo just tried to put me in a bubble. Me. Good thing I found you. I would have been fine. I don't get it. All I've ever seen a gobo do before is dig, and the occasional dance. Something's flumpy. I think you mean... I meant what I said. How are they able to trap Umbra? Courage, you said this anomaly stretches into the back hills, right? Yes, it's odd. Anomalies can be spontaneous, but the span of this one is something I've never witnessed. Alright, I'll head to the back hills in case there are more trapped Umbra there. You two head back to the belfry. Oh, of course, the first purple items I get are freaking aspects. Jerks. No Umbra cooldown, but enemies are enraged. Sheesh. Nice strikers. Crit chance increases crit chance when defeating an enemy. Affliction duration, burn damage, HP regeneration, umber strength. Crit chance, HP and HP regeneration. Not too bad. I mean, crit chance is shit. Focus gain, HP regeneration, umber ability duration. Affliction damage, affliction duration, and bleed duration. That's not bad. It's got poison duration on it though. Break bar and HP regen. Striker's daggers. Affliction damage, crit chance, and crit damage. Okay. Gain might after block breaking an enemy. Break bar damage, crit damage, under streak. Hell yeah. Gain stability and greatly reduce incoming damage after being knocked down. Bleed damage, burn damage, umbra, cooldown. Gain 30% focus when activating an Umbra ability. Oh, they changed the way that looks. Fungal helmet, that's pretty cool. That fungal armor's not too bad looking. hate the fact that even if you upgrade it, they don't give you any kind of extra stuff back for the dust that you put into it. It's kind of annoying. Hey, Lunatoon. Thanks for stopping by. Trigger an explosion when hitting an afflicted enemy with a launcher attack. Might be pretty good. Gain regen when using a focus skill. Lurk away. Lurk away. Ace, well done. You continue to improve your skills and have well earned the rank of Danger Level 4. And for the occasion, I hear that Blaze has cooked up something new for you. He'll fill you in more. Thank you, Paloma. I'm feeling stronger, but I've been noticing a lot of dangerous new monsters as I get closer to numbers. Yes, strength alone won't win the day. You must also always be improving your gear. Check in at the forge and know that you can find some exceptional pieces of beastkin dens like Snaggleshire. I've seen it firsthand. I've gotten a lot of strong gear there. Yes, and if you returned again, you'd likely find similar but even stronger items. There are also bounties and other challenges abroad that will further enhance you. For now, there's one more area of fungi forest I need you to visit, and it's teeming with madpole. Huh. Oh, is this the one I get the set for the freaking bombing thing? Unfortunately, it seems you have to continue mostly solo. Howl doesn't mind blood and bruises, but threaten him with a muddy swamp and suddenly he's elusive. But in good news, Courage is heading that way. He had a strange gleam in his eye. I think that Umbra's up to something. Yeah, he likes to eat the tadpole eggs. Weirdo. I've been hoping to see him on the field. Alright, I'll head there now. Whoop whoop. Double agent. So you finally met Finn. It was hard not to let it slip that we had a double agent on our hands. How does that work? An ace who's a double agent? Well, he primarily reports to me, but he started in the army and still fulfills missions for them at times, so I consult with the craft. You two are getting along? Only on things that make him feel in charge. He still treats me as a child, and I know that he doesn't trust anything or anyone with a hint of Myrus, but I believe he'll see my capabilities eventually. Sometimes it seems like you have a lot to prove to Craft, to Wolfram. It's a tightrope walk, Ace, but I'm determined to show them I'm up for this. Why do you care what they think? I must, Ace. If I can earn their confidence, then we'll in turn build confidence in our soldiers and our people. But truthfully, I do it for something more personal than that. I'm sure you've heard, but I've never known my mother. I like to think that my triumphs are because of her. They're what you would have done if you were here. If she were here. They're what she would have done if she were here. And so I do what I do, not to prove myself to them, but for her. It's my own way of trying to be closer to someone I'll never know. Okie dokie. What up, Courage? Oy, oy, oy. Ace, let's review those pesky pecking crowbows. I've wondered with that name if there was any relation to gobos. So you are awake under those drooping lids. Yes, yes. Did you also notice that they have a similar stooping build to gobos? Well, at some point, gobos made their way to the mountains and mutated. Wings sprouted along with the talent for dive bombing makes my visits to back hills much more harrowing. So they're gobos that fly? Dead on. What crowbows are around, be sure to look up. About those eggs you wanted. Madpole eggs. Oh, delicious. Please tell me you brought me some. Sorry, Courage. I actually want to ask you more specifically about madpoles themselves. Any trick to taking them on? That. Well, it all goes back to those eggs, and before you can try one of your silly ace quips, no, I'm not talking about for eating. Stay focused. Those eggs could be hiding fully formed madpole, and breaking them open could add more to your fight. And watch for their jumps. I've heard some newer recruits call them leapers because they spring around so much. Thanks, Courage, and I'll try to round some eggs up for you next time. Ooh, I wouldn't mind that. Howlers. Hey, Ace, you ever heard of those moans in the middle of the night? calling out from the mountains? Of course, most children of the City of Numbers have. They say that's the wind warning us to stay inside because monsters are nearby. I'm sure that's what the sweet adult humans tell the little ones, but that's no wind. Those belong to howlers. They've lived in the mountains for centuries, making deadly visits to settlements on the foothills. Howlers used to keep close to their dens, but they're much more active lately. Feels like everything is. They have a leader you should keep your eye out for, but he'll probably see you long before you see him. I don't like the sound of that. Remember, Ace, they only howl if they want to signal to each other, or if they want their presence known. The Mercs. Courage, did you train any of those soldiers? Sorry. Who now align with the Mercs? Oh, most assuredly, yes. And unfortunately for us, some were good students. But they stick to their lessons, which means I know some of their tricks. Those that wield swords will be extra evasive. Those with a hatchet tend to counterattack, and those with the boom boom barrages are a pain in the backside. Thanks, Courage. I wonder, though, how could they work against us after fighting alongside us? There's no simple answer there, Ace. Sometimes you humans get confused, sometimes misled, and others just see the world differently. It happens with Umbra as well, but we don't get nearly as turned around as you humans. Sometimes I forget you're much older than you seem, Courage, so have you seen this before? Do you think we can change their minds? Damage has certainly been done, but that doesn't mean all is lost. Never stop trying, Ace. You never know what someone's going through and what it might take to help them change their minds. Change their ways. You taking on more of those mercs. Watch out for the one they call Mercules. Mercules, huh? Yes, Kraft trained him personally. He's got some bullish attacks. He's especially good at using the environment to his advantage, but that also means you can beat him at his own game. How is that someone who mistrusts the Ebb as you do has a double agent Ace? I'm not so mighty as to let my pride put us at a disadvantage. Besides, Finn volunteered. We knew when he went in for the mission that he started it all, that should be the end come, he'd try to return to us as an Ace. He was even on his dying breath. Ace, you've returned. I've heard from Rick's news of the back hills, the capture of Umbra, the Mistech machines. And there's more. Now Gobos are weaponizing Umbra. Those simpletons, they don't understand what they're playing with. Sorry, I don't know why I keep yawning. These Mistech machines you've seen, I've discussed the findings with Ogden. They're acting as a sort of harvester, storing energy from the Ebb and emitting it. And we believe the placement of these Ebb harvesters near an anomaly is intentional, causing them to behave more acutely. With the amount of Mistech and Umbra they're collecting, that can't be the only one they're working on. I gathered as much. These Ebb harvesters, if they continue their construction, it's only a matter of time before Graves returns. But to what end? He returns, and then what? Why is he trying to destroy Eld? For Graves, it's not about destruction, it's about power. He longs to become an omen, a godlike entity, but of which realm is unclear. Child, do you know why the Belfry was built? What? What does that have to do with anything? Oh, Wolfram. It has everything to do with what's happening, but we must make haste. Paloma's looking for you. Wick, you've known Rix a while, right? Correct. She was my diligent student. Hard to get that one out of her shell. Didn't want to pay attention at first until she realized I knew what I was talking about. Here's something for you, Ace. When someone is smarter than you, you can either look up and learn or remain as you are. Rix wisely chose the former. Maybe one day our dear magistrate will realize he should do the same. These mistakes are former Mistweavers. Did you know them? Yes, Ace. They've always banded together, a wistful lot who wished they were more talented than they were. There comes Ingraves. He made them feel smart, seen like what they were doing was good work. They were too stupid to realize they were being used. Their abilities were well enough, but they absolutely lacked imagination. They would have been better to stay craftsmen. There you can actually see a glimmer of talent. This makes me think it can't be a coincidence that all the other Mistweavers died in the blast. Now you're starting to understand. Graves knew the other Mistweavers weren't wholly committed to him and therefore put his agenda at risk. It was easier to get rid of them altogether than deal with their opposing powers. Any idea what the mistakes were doing in their safe house? Those experiments looked ghastly. It seems they are attempting to restore Graves by extracting Mirrors and imbuing him with it. It's not too dissimilar to what they were doing in the numbers, but with less explosive side effects. So that's what caused the blast? Yes, I believe so. The mistakes tried to channel whatever Mirrors they could muster into Graves, but things didn't go according to their misled plan. His body couldn't hold it. He was only human after all. And so the energy erupted, destroying numbers and turning Graves into a corruption of his former self. So why try again? Why won't it just lead to another blast? Graves isn't exactly human anymore, so it remains to be seen what his body can now achieve. As well, the mistakes are going about it differently this time, as you've seen with the Umbra. And what about the Mistech we saw? Ogden and I are still trying to deduce the Mistech piece, but it seems the mistakes are being more methodical and abhorrent with their new approach. It's impossible to say what their conclusions will lead to, but Graves returning and with so much power would have a far worse outcome than what happened at Numbers. Then we can't let that happen. You were the only Mistweaver to survive the dusking. How? A bit of luck and a lot of watching my back. Graves and his favored Mistweavers were becoming more secretive, speaking in hushed tones, closing the doors on their meetings. I could sense something was off, but rather than stick my nose in it, I thought it was wiser to lay low at my hut in Fungi Forest. But they found you. Yes, hiding saved me from dusking, but not from their duskers. They hunted me down. I was fortunate they took as long as they did, though it dragged out just long enough for you and Rix to find me. Otherwise, I may have ended up as the Umbra. Ace, let me fill you in on survival bounties. Once you've reached the appropriate danger level set by Paloma, you'll begin gaining access to them via the bounty board. I'm up for a fresh challenge, and what happens if I'm able to complete all these bounties? There's an Umbra ally waiting for you, but first you must prove your worth. A new Umbra ally. Let me go find that bounty board. Let me fill you in on the performance bounties. Now that you're getting used to your abilities, it's time you have some fun. Pick the right gear for each of these challenges and see if your build stands up to the test. Oh, that does sound more like fun than a challenge. I'd like your spirit, Ace. Let's see how you do. Ace, got some new bounties for you. Let me fill you in on Umbra bounties. If you're seeking new Umbra allies to help you in the fight against the Beastkin, the Umbra bounties are what you're looking for. Completing these unique challenges will each unlock a new ally. Umbra bounties aren't the only way to find new allies, but for this bunch, you'll have to show them what you're made of. It's always helpful to have another hand on the battlefield. I'll take a look at the bounty board. Into the unknown. You've been making quite a name for yourself with these scouting missions. Glad to hear it. What's the next challenge? You've mapped danger nearby, but we need you to tackle something more daunting, a region of sprawling land. It's vast and easy to lose yourself in. Should I be worried? You've already proven you can handle yourself out there. Take it one step at a time. Don't expect to cover the whole thing. Understand. keep my head on straight and report what I can. Exactly. I wouldn't send you if I thought you weren't ready. Go and tread carefully. Is there any more information on the ebb harvesters? Wick and I are trying to pull our efforts to see what we can deduce. The anomaly piece is especially confounding. Anomalies tend to vary due to their any number of causes. Sometimes a concentrated atmospheric gas creates the activity, others something subterranean emanating through the ground. So to see these anomalies with such consistency, each where the connection between our world and the ebb is thinning, is of note. What can you tell me about the mountains, Ogden? Well, the air is thinner for one. Ace, consider also the lower temperature and rocky terrain, and the conditions can be harsh for those not used to it. Though there is beauty to behold, some stunning man-made architecture from the few human settlers, but it's also full of crowbows and howlers, and it tends to be a favored hiding spot for brigands. Be sure to take in your surroundings. What's the state of the City of Numbers? Is it all in ruins? It's dangerous, Ace. Be very mindful should you get close. Those Duskers are still lurking around the place, and Gobos and other beastkin aren't far off. Structurally, it's unclear what may yet collapse. We believe that there's still quite a few people left within, trapped inside the blocked-off gates and eager to escape. They're either in hiding from the beastkin and pillagers, or, well, we'll be sure to gather everyone up once we retake Numbers. Finn, you've become an ace over and over again. Oh, so you want to know what it's like to die so many times? Yeah, exactly. Well, in some ways, it gets easier. You know, the end isn't final, but it still hurts. You forget the pain, but your body seems to remember. Sometimes I get a flash of the person I was before becoming an ace. It's like there's a small hollow spot left behind inside me that doesn't want to be forgotten. That's it, kid. Now imagine multiplying that by the amounts of times I've died. Good thing the powers and aspects are a nice distraction. They help, but still, sometimes I feel a little empty. Well, each time I equip, I stop a moment to thank the seas for them. They're giving me the chance to save so many. Makes me feel a little more full. I'll try that too. What can you tell me of the coast? I've heard many stories. Most are just tall tales, but you ever heard of the sea serpent? That's a good one. Slinks in the shore at night. The only evidence of its visits are the trails of seaweed left behind and blood. Blood? Whoa, that's a new one for me. What's it want? Aside from a hearty dinner, who knows? Maybe it just wants to look up at the stars like the rest of us, but I've seen those trails, so who's really to say? Finn, you sure seem like you're on your own a lot. Aye, it's true. It's good for me. I like the sea air, so I spend most days on the coast. It's quiet there, and keeps my wizened brain calm. I can hear the waves crashing from my lighthouse while I sip a spittin' hot cup of coffee. You live there, outside of Numbers? I do. Well, I'm not dead. When I'm not dead. But that also means I missed out on the dusking. Saw it happen from my window, though. I'll never forget that violent blast the rest of my days. That violent blast. Ace, I have a request. A scout arrived from the mountains, desperately requesting help. What's the trouble? It seems a new anomaly has taken hold. The valley can be seen at night from the belfry, glowing in an unceasing fire. Worse still is a truly nasty group of gobos are taking advantage of it. Understood. Point the place out to me on the map and I'll investigate. A burning village is exactly the kind of place she would have rushed to. It's alright, Howell. I need the air anyway. I don't know what that stuff's for. Oh, I finally get to go talk to the Mistech guy. A pile of pylons. Ace, I could use your hand if you have a moment. Sure, but I have to ask, your helmet, is that what I think it is? Certainly it is. Certainly is. It was a custom order from Bumble to replicate those Mistech masterpieces, the pylons. You know, most people are only familiar with the pylons that protected numbers. But after the pylon technology was confirmed, here Mistweavers went on to establish smaller sub-pylons in monster-dense regions. Many of these sub-pylons also get knocked out with the blast, but we can reactivate them manually at least. This manual I cobbled together from my extensive interviews say we can. How do you know so much about the pylons? Are you one of the last Mistweavers? Oh, Ebno, more of an enthusiast of these marvels, really, and with Ogden's hands full, he seemed happy for me to jump in and help get these back up and running. Well, if I'm honest, he said, yes, do as you please, just don't do it here. So he didn't say not to get involved. Anything to help push back the brewing monsters is something I'm ready to help with. Alrighty. Gotta talk to Bumble. Or Blaze, I mean. Hello, Ace. I think you're ready to try a recycling feature of the Forge. Fuse, it's a process that allows us to combine various items to craft new ones. Tell me more. Some days it feels like the amount of gear I pick up is endless. I'd like to reuse it if that's possible. I've prepared everything that you'll need to perform a simple recipe that will allow you to convert basic spirit dust into superior spirit dust. Take these materials and let me know your results. Will do, thanks. Flexible mold and basic catalyst. Okay, so those were the things in the shop that I was talking about. What do you know about Finn? Hey Bumble, what do you know about Finn? You've met him then. Well, the latest I've heard is a bit sad, really. Rumor is he's married, but hasn't seen his wife in a while. He had something to do with his ace work. Apparently, he tried to get in touch with her when he got to the Belfry, and even in the middle of this crisis, she refused. Even now? So they say people are trying to protect themselves more than ever. Who knows what's gone on between those two before this. Alrighty. Fuse action allows you to combine various weapons, gear, aspects, and resource items to craft a new item. As you increase your danger level, you will unlock new fuse recipes. Fuse recipes are organized into categories like resources, weapon, gears, and aspects. Some recipes always produce the same item, others will grant you something random. Okay. Okay, tier 4 epic daggers. Interesting. So you can take 3 of the items you don't want and try to fuse them into an item that has better stats, I guess. Okay, so I can turn the basic spirit dust into the purple spirit dust just by using those materials. Okay. Ace, you returned. How'd you first fusing go? The process went very smoothly. Your instructions were simple to follow. Excellent. Keep trying more recipes at the forge, and there's more things you should keep in mind. Some fused recipes are simple, and with those we can guarantee what you're going to get. More complicated gear is another matter. While we can deduce type and rarity, everything else is up to the forge. Now here, take these extra materials as small rewards to celebrate your achievement. Okay. And then that spends purple to buy these to make more purple. Interesting. Paloma has something else to talk to me about. Those bubbles we saw in the mountains, despicable. How could they cage up something as innocent as a child Umbra? And I saw some of those Umbra cages back in the Mistakes hideout. I did too. Those monsters, it's not enough that we've lost numbers and we've got refugees fractured across the land, but now these torturous Mistakes are harming Umbra for their own vile schemes. When I think of what those poor Umbra went through, I think I'm going to vomit. Rix, I know, it's horrible. At least they are at peace now. I don't want to hear it. Those Mistakes, I won't stop until we have their heads. Good. Good timing, Ace. Our scouts have spotted Mistech being ferried into the ruins at Numbers. Sounds like they're setting up another ebb harvester. Yes, I take it you've spoken with Wick then and agreed, but you might be able to intercept it and stop it. Numbers, time to go home. Be wary, Ace. Either an anomaly is already present or one might get triggered when it's activated, riling up the hordes of beastkin. You may cross paths with refugees who are unable to flee. Please do what you can for them. Understood. I'll make my way to Numbers now. Well, not now, but I will make my way to Numbers shortly. Whoa. Stepstone Gates. Numbers Ironworks. Ixel's Remain. Molten Weld. Frontier Fungi Forest. Don't know if Molten Weld is the one I was thinking of. That might be further out. The one I'm thinking of might be further out. Yeah, because Molten Weld is the one with the tadpoles. The other one I'm thinking of is a bunch of the Power Puffs, or whatever the heck they're called. The blow up mushrooms. You know what I'm trying to say. So this is just like a normal mission. Spawning season. Gross. This is terrible. Dangerous place. So I couldn't stay away. Too much fun to be had. Fun? It's Madpole spawning season. A time to smasherize their eggs and thin their numbers. Here, you go on ahead. I'll take care of these. If you see any more, give them a good stomp for me. You're gross. Just sitting there gnawing on the freaking tadpole eggs. Stop jumping in the freaking shit. Alrighty then. These guys are definitely more pain in the ass than I remember them being. First, I just showed some more madpole eggs. Maybe now we can gain the upper hand. What, did you eat that egg? Good source of protein. Want to try? I think I'll pass. Compass says it's this way. It's that way. You know you can't trust a compass this deep in the fungi. Soldiers need a hand. Good timing, Ace. We're on our scouting mission to determine the entrance to Moldenwell. Kraft here heard something about Madpole mutating. We need to see if there's truth to the rumors or if it's just scare tactics. Well, I'm doing some sweeps through here for Paloma. Let's join up our efforts. A dead end. Told you compasses go awry in fungi forest. Too much ebb energy, it's confusing them. Let's turn around and keep moving. Ace, you fought a giant mushboom, right? Yes, deep in Dimcap. Then these mutated madpoles, there's a chance they're real too. Bro. I've heard aces were impressive. You delivered. Thank you. I'll take it from here. Let Kraft know what we discovered with the Madpole, and I'll see what Moldenweld has maybe hiding on it is. Okay, so this set drops the Ranger set. I like how they did that. They actually added the rewards tab to it so you can see what each area drops. So if you're farming a specific set of armor, you can get it. Well, where spirits like to tread, and where the Madpoles come to lay delicious eggs. You underestimate me, Ace. I'll be fine. Enjoy. How am I supposed to do anything if you guys are literally jumping one right after each other? Jesus. Dude, how in the hell did you even hit me? Okay, I got all the eggs. Oh my god! Okay, that was a little ridiculous. Good God. These guys are a lot stronger than I remember them being. It wasn't even the boss. Another mutated madpole. I won't back down. Got all kinds of stuff that time around. Too bad none of it was good. While in stealth, Shadow Feint deals 50% more damage. Attack, burn, and poison damage. I would get the Ranger's Tunic for the piece I already have. Bleed damage, poison duration, strike damage, and Umber ability. Oh, that's actually pretty good too. Bleed damage, poison duration, weapon meter gain. Affliction duration, attack, wound duration, HP regeneration. Vintage helmet. Alrighty. I'm gonna have to call it there. Gotta go pick up a kid. So yeah, we got a little farther in the story. Got to danger level 4 today, which was nice. We got couple really good pieces of gear. The striker gear is actually really good, so I kind of like it. I do like the fact that they actually added the gear affix to the weapon, so now you can actually do 2 full sets of gear. Originally you could only do 1 because it only had it on the armor, so you could have 3 pieces and then 2 pieces of whatever. Which that's eventually going to be how it works anyway, because, you know, you could always get legendary pieces of gear, so you'll end up having 3 pieces of purple gear and then 3 pieces of legendary gear, however you want to mix and match it. But it worked out pretty well. Got a lot of decent gear, got the 3 pieces of the striker set, so I get increased critical damage, or critical strike chance when I'm fighting, the more enemies I defeat. So that's kind of cool. We'll try to get more pieces of the Ranger set to fill in the 3 pieces that we're missing, the shoulders, the body, and the other ones, so we can have the inflict bleed on nearby enemies after every 5th attack. That's pretty nice. Either that or we'll just focus more on poison. I've kind of been doing bleed and poison, as you can see. So we might end up, if we can get another piece of the striker's gear to put somewhere else, we might end up using this one because that's got bleed and poison duration on it, which is nice. Because we're using both bleed and poison on our build. I do like the affliction damage that it does. So usually when you see my gear, it's usually going to have like some kind of poison, affliction. I need to get rid of this burn affliction or burn damage, but you know, bleed, poison duration. So, you know, once we get a little higher level, we can really start min-maxing our build, but as of right now, I'm kind of happy with how it's coming. I just realized you couldn't see any of that because I'm not on the stream mode. So what I was saying is, like, you know, I have pieces of gear that have bleed, poison damage, poison duration, affliction duration, damage, you know, stuff like that. So that's what I was saying, is we're working towards doing stuff like that to basically build the way that we want to build it. I like doing the affliction damage and stuff like that, so that's one of the things that I've always loved about the Shadow Striker, is he's really good at dealing that affliction damage. Every one of them kind of works one way or another with some kind of affliction. I think the Sentinel has skills that do bleed. He's got like this dash attack that does bleed damage, so he works more with bleed. Obviously, the Pyroclast works with fire, so he's going to be lighting people on fire, doing burn damage, all that kind of stuff, as well as, like, if there's a lot of ways that you can increase how much damage you're dealing to enemies depending on how many burning enemies are around you in his skill tree, so that's kind of like how he works. You kind of want to continuously set enemies on fire and stuff, so we'll probably end up building him that way as a little bit as well. I can't remember what the Rock Breaker does damage-wise. I think he just does straight break damage, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. Increase critical chance when Powder Keg Punch. You can charge Powder Keg Punch while airborne. When landing, a level 3 Powder Keg Punch increases the ability charge speed. Yeah, I don't think he has any, like, afflictions that he deals. I think he's just meant to, like, you know, buff himself, increase how much damage he does with the Powder Keg Punch. There's ones that, when a fully charged Powder Keg Punch is stored, you gain stability. So, like, holding it stored up actually makes it better for you. Increasing how fast it charges, gain stability while charging Powder Keg Punch. With a fully charged Powder Keg Punch stored, each hit has a 20% chance to inflict stun. So like, yeah, I think the ground breaker or the rock breaker is just straight, just increased damage. I think he has like ways of giving himself haste. Yeah, after. 1 second. Sorry about that. So yeah, it's, basically just building up stuff, dealing a shit ton of damage, doing all kinds of stuff with it. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, we're gonna end it there. I'll see you all on the next one. I appreciate everybody for jumping in and saying hi. Even if you were lurking, Lunatoon. But yeah, we'll see you all on the next one. I appreciate everybody having